Then a human dove from the sky. Sorry I'm late. I was looking for my sword. The sandstorm screamed around her. Xelari, general of the Shikari Blades, stood ankle-deep in the red dunes of Torvassa. Blood trickled from her temple, mixing with the ash that fell like snow from the burning skirmish above. Around her, the enemy closed in. 7 armored warriors of the Skarn hegemony, twice her size and merciless. She had led her unit to this forsaken planet to protect the southern civilians, but they were dead. All of them. She was the last. Her spear, carved from the bone of a solar WRM, cracked as the enemy leader's hammer slammed into it. Crack! She staggered back, half a weapon in her hand, chest rising with every breath, her silver eyes locked with the one who now smiled. The Skarn captain raised his bladed gauntlet. Any last words, Blade Girl? She growled. I'll die standing. He chuckled. So will you die? Then, a shape fell from the sky, faster than any drop pod, smaller than a fighter, a trail of flame behind it. Then the thundering impact of a body hitting the sand like a meteor. The warrior stepped back, startled, as the dust cleared, and from the crater rose a man. Tall, broad-shouldered, human. He wiped ash from his dark coat, a strange smirk tugging at his lips. His voice carried over the wind as he tilted his head towards Zari. Sorry I'm late, he said. I was looking for my sword. Zari blinked, stunned. Cade? Elias Cade, the human mercenary. The one she hadn't seen in 3 years, not since the assault on Virex Prime. She thought he was dead. Yet here he was, covered in burns and bruises, grinning like a fool. A glint of steel flashed at his hip, a sword unlike any she'd seen before, curved and engraved with ancient Terran letters. The Skarn Captain barked, human filth. Kill him. They charged. Cade didn't flinch. His hand reached for the sword, and then it sang. As he unsheathed it, the blade ignited with white flame, cutting arcs of light in the air. He moved like lightning. The first Skarn fell with a gurgling scream. The second's weapon split in half before he could strike. The rest hesitated, but Cade was already among them. Xelari, still stunned, shook herself into motion. She grabbed a fallen plasma blade from the sand and charged into the chaos. Side by side they fought. He spun, slicing through an armored leg, then flipped his blade in reverse to parry a blow aimed at her back. Nice of you to join me, she muttered, slashing through another foe. You look like you needed a hand, he replied, and a better spear. She snorted. Yours is ugly. It's got character. The last of the Skarn tried to flee. Cade threw his sword like a comet. It flew through the air and impaled the soldier against a dune. Silence fell. Only the wind remained, dragging ash across the field of bodies. They stood alone in the aftermath, breathing, staring at each other. Xelari looked him over. 3 years. I thought you were dead. He shrugged. I got better. You left after Virex Prime. I was forced out. By who? Cade's eyes darkened. Old enemies. Earth Command didn't like what I knew about the artifact. She narrowed her eyes. The blade? He nodded. It's not human. Not really. It chose me after Virex. I've spent 3 years learning how to use it and trying to find you. Her voice cracked. Why? He stepped closer. Because I owe you. You saved my life in that orbital wreckage. I did what anyone. You didn't even hesitate. You carried me through fire. You stitched my ribs with your own hands. I don't forget that. She looked away, jaw tight. I didn't do it for debt. I know. Silence stretched between them. Are you staying? She asked. I came for you, he said. I'm not leaving again. They spent the night in the ruins of the command post. Fires burned in the distance, but the Skarn force had been broken. As they sat by the heat vent, Cade pulled out a datapad. They're planning another assault. 3 worlds in the next cycle. Xelari frowned. And you know this how? Because the sword doesn't just cut. It sees. She raised an eyebrow. You're talking nonsense. He smiled. Not nonsense. Just destiny. I don't believe in that. You don't have to. You just have to stand beside me again. 1 week later, orbit above Varkos 3. The skies turned red as ships descended. But this time, the defenders were ready. Cade and Xelari stood together at the head of the joint human Shikari strike unit. Word of the Meteor Man had spread. Rebels joined. Old soldiers returned. Even the high command began to take notice. He fought with fire. She fought with grace. They carved paths together, across moons, wreckage, and broken thrones. 1 year later, the Black Summit. The Skarn High Regent was forced to surrender. Cade tossed a blade at his feet. You sent dogs after her. You forgot what happens when the hunted have teeth. Xelari stepped beside him. And when they fight as one, the Regent asked bitterly, were you to each other? They glanced at each other. Cade shrugged. Allies. She added with a faint smile, and something more. Final scene. Return to the dunes. Back where it began. The sandstorm was gone now. Flowers bloomed in the wake of rains, seated by the terraformers. A monument stood, a broken spear, next to a blade buried in stone. Xelari placed a hand on the stone. Do you still think your sword is ugly? She asked. Cade grinned. Still does a job. She smiled. So do you. He reached for her hand. I was late, he said quietly, but I'll never be again.